Hello folks, welcome to the Whiskered Woodcarver. I'm Jeff C., a visual marketing and live video specialist, and this is the show where I carve for about 30 minutes before supper and chat with my friends. So hope you guys are doing well. It's kind of hump day. Hope if you're on the West Coast, you're kind of easing into your afternoon. And if you're on the East Coast, well, hopefully, you're getting ready for dinner. So let's jump right to the carving cam and get started. All right, so as always, got to put on our safety equipment. It is a hot day and humid here in Texas, so I may appear a little sweaty. So yeah, it's pretty warm, but here we go. We'll get started here. Hope you guys are doing well. Just gonna add some sharpening compound here on the old strop, and we'll get started here. Let's see. Make sure everything's going. My little Helvy knife that I like so much. So the topic for today is what makes an excellent leader. What do you look for, in a leader? What are some things that maybe you want to aspire to be a leader, or maybe you just noticed things about other leaders. So here's my little small knife. I'll just sharpen my little Helvy. I think this is the first one I ever got. I really like this one. So that looks pretty good. And for those of you who joined us for the first time, this is what we are, our pattern that we're going to. It's one of the first little Gnome Santas that I carved, and this is how far we've gotten. So we're just going to continue the carving journey today and see how far we get in 30 minutes. Haven't done much on the feet. We need to really start thinking about that. Getting that working. So let's continue. Where do we want to start? Still need to take some of this down here. Just like this. There we go. So what do you think makes an excellent leader? I think, the ones that I've admired are pretty transparent. Eva says, somebody confident and honest, open to listening to others. Yeah, I think those are all good ones, Eva. I agree. That listening to others, I think a lot of times is something we want. And I don't have to agree with good leaders all the time, and but having them listen. And then I think a good leader is one that tells you why or why not they're making that certain decision, which I think is important, because I guess I'm talking from a boss standpoint, maybe, is you never know what to, say at work, if he doesn't like your ideas or whatever, having feedback of why not, so you can be better and suggest ideas that you think may go through better next time. So luckily I've been around some good leaders that I've learned from, and you can also learn a lot from bad leaders as well. Learn what not to do. So I think you can always be learning something from leaders. Still need to take some off here. Use my longer knife. But sometimes, I think you learn leadership in sports. I know my son learned a lot. He had some really great coaches, like soccer coaches and stuff like that I thought showed him what a good leader was, which is really good, because I kind of felt like when I was a kid I had some bad, when I tried and I wasn't very good at sports, that I had some bad coaches that didn't do very well. But you get those good ones, they can make a big difference. And that's one of these things that I kind of worry about a little bit with, I'm all about online stuff. I love the online world, but some of this online teaching, because my wife's had to do it, there's something missing that's that kids need. And I worry a little bit about, I think a lot of leadership for kids is developed from watching their teachers. And I think I was lucky enough to have really good teachers that I learned leadership skills from. But when they're, I'm just a little worried right now it's a little harder when they're not able to be around them in class. And it's hard to learn leadership over a Zoom call. But hopefully we won't be in this for too much longer. Yeah, I've really got to take off get working on this beard here. My favorite part. This is kind of a nice, relaxing way to end a Wednesday work day with. For some reason, today has been hard to focus. I've been trying to write some courses that I have to do. And that just is like, ugh. But it's all good. Just trying to get this mustache in this little area to kind of pop out a little more. That's one thing I'm really trying to work on a little bit, is be a little bit more precise. And I haven't done a really great job with this, but I've been watching some good YouTube carvers, and they are super. These are guys who've been carving since they were a kid when they hold a knife. But they're really super precise. They're like snick, snick, snick with their cuts, and I still feel like I'm all over the place. But that's why I practice as much as I do. I always try to get better. I'm really going to need to start on this side as well. Trying to get this guy's hand down a little bit. Kind of get this beard. See, even here I don't have much room for that foot and getting that down around that hand. See, this hand seems like it's really a little bit higher, but we'll see what we end up with here. Just using this little gouge to take out some of this wood. That's what I wanted. Trying to define this mitten a little bit on this guy's hand. This one's going to vary quite a bit from the one I did before, but it'll all work out. There we go. Also need to see if I can get some of this. Yeah, it makes them something. We'll say it's unique, Eva. That's what we'll call it this time. So I can't remember since that one I did so long ago. How much I may have cut this blank a lot further down than I did with the first one, because some of it's like I don't remember having this trouble with the beard and the I thought I had more wood to play with before, so. Making these little V-cuts to make sure I have some room for the little folds that go around the feet a little bit. This wood splits really easily down around here, but it's probably kind of hard to see, but you need to take this beard kind of down around here. There we go. And I really need to take some more wood around this arm. Right here, there's a little fold on his back there. I want to make sure I don't forget that. Kind of have his line for his hair as well. come back and put his little hairlines in very, very end. Left. So that. Getting some of this flat wood that's I don't want to have when I paint it, so I'm kind of trying to round them up some more. Kind of one of those quiet days for carving. Kind of like these. Every once in a while, just to sit, let you guys watch. So I try to figure out what I'm doing. So even says sometimes the way I hold it makes it look different. Yeah, I'm always switching it around because I try to look at it from different angles so I don't mess something up that I'll, carve off some wood that I'll need later. But yeah, I can see you hold it different ways. You're like, what is that? Somebody the other day thought it was a dinosaur. So, but you know what? If you're just coming in and don't know what we've been working on, yeah, it could be easy to see some different things. I guess I kind of need to move this out so if people come by, they can see what we're working on. I'm working up a sweat today. I'm trying to bring this, on this one you'll see it's a little thinner from what I have it on this one. So I'm going to see if I can work it down a little bit. That's why I like some of this beech wood when you cut it right against some of the grain, it almost gets shiny, and it's really satisfying to carve through. It's kind of fun after you've been pushing pixels all day to come and work with something like this. I was on a podcast. Someone's interviewing me for a podcast the other day, and we were talking about this and how it's like. It's tangible. It's something. It's like knitting. People will knit kind of the same thing. There's something about it. Doing something with your hands. I think a lot of people are finding out they've, during this lockdown stuff that, oh, you know what? I wish I want to do that. It's more of that kind of stuff, which I think is great. This knife's getting a little dull. Every once in a while when you're carving, you'll notice that it's like pulling a little different. It's time to hone it. We're pushing that knife through some really tough end grain, and so it makes sense. It needs a little buff. To make this guy's beard a little thinner so I can get in there. About 6 minutes left. Dad dropped a leadership quote. A leader who speaks of what he knows and lives what he speaks will attract willing followers. Those unwilling to be led will be so uncomfortable that they will be very willing to get out of the way. Who said that? Where did you find that, Dad? That's a good one. Hey, Mr. Sam's, good to see you from Flip Lifestyles. It's just some music that I found. Is it video blocks? But they're audio blocks. So I just think it fits it. Mr. Sam's, thank you so much for stopping by. I dig your show and your podcast, man. It's always nice when people stop by. So we were talking about leadership, what makes a good leader, and he, Mr. Sams and his wife do a really cool, their Flip Lifestyle, where they teach people. I've heard them on Pat Flynn's podcast, but he does a really good job leading that group and teaching some really cool things. So check him out if you haven't. Flip Lifestyle, check them up. Thanks, Shane, for stopping by. Yeah, so I like to do it because I have a countdown because I want to show people how much they can get done in just 30 minutes. And so, very, very cool. Yeah, it's kind of fun, relaxing to listen to at the end of the day. So Dad says that came from the leadership lessons of Jesus, Briner and Pritchard. Okay, cool. That's a great quote. So just trying to finish up some stuff in this last 3 minutes. We've gotten pretty far on the old Gnome Santa. Gonna have to make a couple more modifications. Because this pattern's just, it just came off the bandsaw a little bit different. But it's always fun to try to think to, every carving's different. That's what Eva said, it's unique. That's a nice way to say it. But somebody asked the other day if I wanted to teach some wood carving. We may do that. Maybe sometime we'll do something where I'll do one of my little Christmas penguins and you guys could follow along and carve something really, that's not too hard, but it can teach you some of the fundamentals. That'd be kind of fun to do. So I still need to take off this a bit more on this base here. Where's his feet are gonna go? Hey! Yes, so Mia says, looking good, Hefe. Excellent leadership quality is humility. I totally agree. I totally get that a lot. Man, you can listen to, I think of people like I look up to, I think are great leaders, like Michael Hyatt. I just like him. I mean, he's just very, very humble, but he's very great advice. I've had a lot of good mentors and leaderships. So Emily goes, you don't want them to be all the samey. This is art, not a cookie cutter. That's right. There's production carvers, which they'll do that. They carve right after another, and that's just not me. So, yeah, so about a minute left. Kristen goes, even identical twins have differences. That's right. You guys are so kind. I just want to make sure he has arms and stuff that you can tell. Oh, thanks, Emily, for stopping in, just jumping in to say hey. She goes, leaders eat last. I love that quote. That's awesome, Emily. That's a great one. I'm going to have to steal that. Eaters eat last. There was that one, somebody was talking about their, they were talking about leaders, and one of the leaders he'd still help and clean the bathrooms and stuff. I mean, that's some cool stuff. We had, when I worked in the fire department in college, one of the battalion chiefs would come out and work with us washing the fire trucks. And he didn't have to do that, but boy, howdy, did we respect him, because he didn't have to do that, but he wanted to be there with everybody and be you know, we can talk to him and stuff. So that's a great point. Leaders eat last. Yeah. Mia goes, boom, Emily for the win. Very cool. Alrighty, folks. That is the end of our 30-minute session. Look how much we got done with Mr. Gnome Santa. We are getting there. Probably 2 or 3 more sessions, and then we need to do a painting session where we paint some of the stuff we've made. As always, I thank you guys so much for being here, and I would love to connect with you. In fact, send me a text at 903-287-9088 because I would love to get away from all these algorithms and talk directly to you. So fill that out. There's a thing, and it'll be an auto-generated reply, but then it'll be me, and we can connect and talk. So 903-287-9088. And thank you, Emily. Thank you, Eva, for stopping in. Eva says we've had this unique conversation because being unique doesn't mean it's bad or anything. Yeah, I get it. So thanks so much, guys, for stopping by. I appreciate each and every one of you. And remember, we always have 4 things we end every show with. Number 1, remember we're apart, but we're not alone. Number 2, wash your hands. Number 3, hug those people around you if you can. And number 4, continue to pray for those doctors and nurses on the front lines. And with that, I will see you guys again on Friday. Have a great rest of your week. Talk to you later. Bye now.